Alright guys, it's your boy CarolinaChris26. Yeah, I'm back at you this week guys, and I am doing a little one of my cooking videos that I normally throw out here on my channel. You know, it's all over the place. Got comic books, got me watching TV shows and fucking movies now, man. God damn. You gotta show what you love, and I love to watch. Usually if I'm not reading comic books, I'm watching a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows. A lot. You know, and I love to eat. So tonight I'm making homemade spaghetti. I know some people in some places make spaghetti different. I'm going to show you how I make spaghetti, how my mom taught me how to make spaghetti. Almost a pound of hamburger. I got my pot over here for my noodles, and I'm going to show you how I make my homemade spaghetti. It's pretty simple, man. It ain't really like, you know, it's not like rocket science or nothing like that, but you got to fry your hamburger real good. And as you're frying your hamburger, you want to put your seasonings in there. Whatever kind of seasoning you like. As you know, I use a lot of Mrs. Dash these days because I'm not really using any salt. Got a little bit of garlic and herbs, Mrs. Dash. A little bit of pepper. And a little bit of Obey. Now, if you're cooking seafood, any kind of seafood, Obey. I got turned on to this up in Baltimore. Shout out to everybody in Baltimore. Hope y'all are doing well and safe. Yeah, Obey, man, is the good shit. I need to call my friend in Baltimore, Daniel Corum, man. He's who I used to live with. My best friend from Massey Hill. I used to live with him in Baltimore, and I know Baltimore is probably going nuts right now with all these protests and lootings and stuff going on. I think he lives in Dundalk, so he's not really in the inner city, so I don't think he's really got to worry about the protesters, or the looters, not the protesters. The protesters are actually out there doing good. The looters are out there trying to get a bunch of free shit, I guess. Rest in peace to George Floyd, who actually is from here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where I live at. And you gotta get you a strainer for two reasons: the hamburger and your noodles. So I think it's best if you have a strainer to have a metal strainer. It's a lot easier to clean than the plastic. Yeah, so you want to cook your hamburger real good and nice. And as you're cooking your hamburger, you're gonna start to see a lot of grease piling up in the hamburger. You know, you can see it looks like water. It's actually grease in there. So I'm gonna dump the grease out in the strainer first. Got my strainer right there. I'm gonna dump my hamburger meat in the strainer and rinse out my pan while the hamburger is draining. Kind of get that grease out of the pan. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna be eating greasy spaghetti. Pan nice and clean, and kind of drip out all that grease. Yeah, you're gonna have grease all in your sink, so as long as you're using good dish liquid, it shouldn't be no problem to get all that grease out of your dish, your sink. All right, got our grease out. All right, now we're gonna put our hamburger meat back in the pan. Rinse your strainer out, because you want to get that. You're going to be using that strainer again, and you want it to be nice and cleaned out. Alright. Yeah. So now you got your grease out of your hamburger meat. I'm going to cut your hamburger down on medium. Alright. Alright, yeah, you notice I like to keep my stove kind of wiped down as I'm cooking, because you get grease all over your place. I want the grease off my countertops, I want the grease off my food, and I want the grease out of my body. Feel me? Because this body is a temple. Alright, like seriously. This body is a temple. Water over here in our pot. We want to heat up our pot because we're going to be cooking our noodles in there. I'm going to be using angel hair pasta. I like to use the angel hair or the regular noodles. So we're going to let our water get nice and warm, and then we're going to put our pasta in our noodles. Our pasta in our water. Then we got our hamburger meat over here cooking. So it's cooked. Now we're gonna cut us up some bell pepper. Put a little bit of bell pepper in the hamburger meat while it's cooking in our pan over there. Put our bell pepper in little strips. And cut those strips in half. A little bit of bell pepper in the spaghetti. Give it a little bit of flavor. Feel me? 'Cause that's a spicy meatball. Yeah, that's a spicy meatball. Stir the spaghetti with the bell pepper in there. I'm gonna turn this hamburger meat up a little bit. I don't want to put it on high, but I want to get it just around 7, and not on medium, which will be 5. Water over here. Now you got to put some salt in your water when you're putting your noodles in there, because the salt, my mom used to tell me, the salt water will eat up the starch on the noodles. Eat off that starch on them noodles, which is a bad thing apparently. We got our water over here boiling. Hamburger meat cooking with our bell pepper. That is no salt. Obviously it doesn't taste like salt, doesn't have any sodium in it whatsoever, but it has a seasoned kind of flavor to it, you know what I mean? Pretty good. Alright, my water is kind of boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and break out me a little handful of these noodles. You know, a personal bowl, that might be about a little bit more than a personal bowl. It looks like a little bit of noodles, but once you stick in that water, it expands, trust me. Yeah, that's enough of noodles. I mean, you want fresh noodles when you eat your spaghetti. And if you put a lot in there, you're going to put it in the refrigerator, which, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Alright. Alright, I think the hamburger's about done. Now we gotta add the rest. And as you can see, the noodles are already bending. Alright. Noodles are already, so you cut that on down. You don't need that on. Cut that about low. Alright, here's the spaghetti sauce I'm using, Prego. You do whatever kind you want to use. We're going to stir this up. Done. Trust me, I got to show you my little secret trick that I do. Makes my spaghetti sauce the bomb. Here's my secret ingredients to make my spaghetti the bomb. A little bit of sugar. Alright, that's enough. You want to stir that sugar up in that sauce. Man, let it sit, and trust me. That sauce is going to be shit. It's supposed to help with indigestion and heartburn too when you're eating the spaghetti sauce. From what I was heard, but it just tastes good. Homemade spaghetti with me and how we do it in North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina, that is. So yeah, I'd like to see how you cook your spaghetti. You know, let me know. Shoot a video and let me see how you cook your homemade spaghetti. Is it kind of the same way I do it? Do you add sausage and peppers and stuff like that? I mean, you know, pork into your sauce, or you just put hamburger? I know people do it a lot of different ways. I'd like to hear how you do your spaghetti. So this is how I do mine. And trust me, I know it's good. That's how my mama made it. Well, my mom didn't really add the sugar. That was something new I did, but God, it makes the sauce just that much better, you know. So, alright guys, take care. Stay safe out there. Once again, rest in peace to George Floyd, former resident of the Ville, Vietnam, 2-6. George was a member of 2-6, so guys, stay safe out there, seriously. Love all y'all.